I was at the thrift store yesterday browsing around electronics when something caught my eye. It's an OLPC laptop from about 2005. Now the reason I knew what this was instantly is because I actually wanted to buy one about 2 or 3 years ago. I think they were about $80 back then, but I never ended up pulling the trigger. So when I saw it, I instantly knew that I wanted to get it if it worked. And just to explain a little bit about what this laptop is and why it looks like it's for kids. Well, because it is for kids. Back in 2005, a company started up to try to get laptops in the hands of kids in developing countries who couldn't afford one. Back then, laptops were going for like $1,000 minimum, and they were trying to develop laptops under the price of $200 or even $100 if they can get it down that low. I don't think they ever got it down that low. I think they got it to like 140, which is pretty good considering other laptops cost a lot more. But after I picked it up, I was trying to figure out how to open this thing. I couldn't figure it out. Like I kept trying to pull. I thought the hinge was over here, so I was trying to pull this up. I thought maybe it was broken. I thought maybe the previous owner glued it shut as like a joke or something like that. But then I realized what you have to do are there are these two things that go up, 1, 2, and once those go up, it unlocks the laptop, and you can now see the screen. So once I figured that out, I tried to turn the power on, and I knew that it probably wasn't going to hold a charge anymore. If there was any battery life in this thing, there is a rechargeable battery that you can take out right here, but I knew that would have been dead a long time ago because this thing was made probably 15 years ago at this point. So I went to the charger section. This pawn shop or thrift store has chargers, and the first charger I see, I just started like putting them in. Literally the first one I grabbed, I pull it down off the shelf, and I put it in the charger hole for the laptop, and sure enough, it fits right in. Look at that. So I go down to the charging area where you plug it into the AC adapter in the wall, and the light went on the computer. So I was like, wow, this is just a match made in heaven. What are the chances of that? So I got in line and I bought it, and I brought it home, and then I started messing around with it, and I'll show you what it can do right now. And before I boot it up, I do want to show you one cool feature about this laptop. So yes, you can use it as a traditional laptop like this, but the screen also swivels around like that and then comes back down. So you can use it as like a tablet as well, like this if you want to. And then you can use the buttons instead of the keyboard. So it's plugged in now, and you'll see the battery light is on. We're going to go ahead and push the power button down, and now you see the power light is on, and the computer is starting to boot up. There's a little music. There is an error on the screen, invalid system date, and there'll be a couple more errors that appear. You see there's a sad face. And when I saw that at the thrift store, I was like, oh God, this thing doesn't even work. I was really upset. But the thing still boots up, and it works like normal. So it's a little slow to boot up. This is a really old computer. Like I said, it's about 15 years old, but it does work. Check out this fun little loading screen with that little character, and then like his hand goes around as the computer loads. It's little things like that that make this kind of a unique computer. I mean, it was designed for kids, so you see fun little things like that throughout the operating system. I believe it's a Linux operating system. I did a little bit of research on it last night. Now, unfortunately, this project was considered a failure. The operating system was buggy, and the kids didn't end up using the laptop like they thought they would. Like I read something online that said only 4% of kids were actually using it on a daily basis. Now they did do something interesting, this company that made this thing. They did buy one laptop, give one laptop. So basically you can, for $400 back in like 2008, if you bought one, then for yourself, then you donate one to a kid in a developing country, which is kind of a nice thing. And I wonder if that's how the person that owned this got it, and it eventually ended up in the thrift store. Let's just take a look around the laptop a little bit. I believe these might act as antennas for the Wi-Fi, but I'm not sure. There's 2 USB ports on this side. That's actually a camera. It's really low res, but it is a camera. I tested it out and it works. This is a speaker. There's 2 speakers, one on each side. The power button, which I showed you a little earlier. The full keyboard. Well, it's a smaller keyboard. It's for kids, but it is a keyboard. It has all the letters and everything. On the other side, we have, I believe this one is for microphone, and this one is for a mouse or a speaker, or maybe headphones. And then there's a third USB port. There's some buttons over here, like some arrow buttons. This actually rotates the screen. Watch this. So when you push that, like if you're, if you put it around so it's in tablet mode, you can rotate it so it's like upside down or to the left or to the right or however you want to do it, which is kind of a nice feature. And then this is the keyboard. I think that this was supposed to be used because you're going to eventually make it like a trackpad or like a, I can't remember what these are for, but they don't really do anything. This is really just your mouse pad. See, I'm controlling the mouse, and then there's two clicks, the left click and the right click. Let's take a look at the operating system. The way that the operating system works is it's kind of like OS X for Mac, where all the programs are down along the bottom. And there's, I think, like 20 different programs. There's one where you can chat with your friends, you can browse the web, you can write notes and stuff. You can record your voice, I guess, paint. This is like a little music application. eToys, which is I think some games. Turtle Art is another art game. And then there's also like there's calculator. There's one that I saw that's basically like you can program different, like you can program programs into it, and then you hit run, and it'll actually, like you can code, and then it'll actually run the program, which is pretty cool. I was able to get SimCity to load on here, which was kind of fun, but it was limiting because the graphics were really bad. But let me show you around what some of these applications can do. So when you open up, like browse the web, you'll see right here that it is loading. Again, this computer is pretty slow, but it does work. I could understand why they were having issues with it back in the day if it's this slow. Like the newer computers back then, they would be a lot faster. So it might have been frustrating for the teachers and the kids to wait this long. So it does connect to the internet, but you'll see like when you search for something, I'll just say hi, search the internet, it doesn't really work. I do believe I am connected to Wi-Fi right now, like to my home internet, but for some reason I get this error. Oh wait, that did work. So some of the stuff still works, but other stuff doesn't. But like if I click like if I just click on this link right here, it probably won't see. I got a page load error. So I think because this browser is so old, it's just not supported anymore. So you're kind of limited in that, but like you can still do some stuff. So it's kind of fun to still mess around with it. And if you look on the left here, there's like all these different things here, like books, media, images, and other. And then, here's like about your XO. XO is the name of this this computer. It's like the model number. Here's a little brief tour about your laptop. Tells you how to use it. Scroll down, see all the pictures and the text and everything like that. So let's say I'm done with this application. I want to try something else. So to do that, you just move your mouse cursor to the top of the screen like that, and you'll see I can either go directly to a new application, or I can click home, and it'll take me back to this kind of startup screen, and it'll show me all the different applications that I have open. There's the web browser, and here's the journal. But if you want to start a new one, then you go down to the bottom of the screen, and you can see you can try a new one. So let's try Paint. And it's a pretty basic paint application where you can just go around and you can draw using these different tools, pencil, brush. You can erase them. You can fill the whole screen. That doesn't seem to work. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Oh, here's like a solid. Oh, wow, look at that. See, it's a little slow, but you can change the color. Let's go with blue. Looks like I filled the whole screen with the black. Let's try the blue. It'll change the whole screen to that. You can add shapes, I guess, like that. You can add text. Oh wait, let me try this. There you go. So, hello. You can add images. So you can see it'd be good for a kid to mess around with. If they're into art, they could goof around and try some different things and just have fun with it. This is an application called Tam Tam Jam, and it actually lets you make music. So you can imagine this being a lot of fun for the kids to just go in, and you can add different instruments and stuff. And then I don't really know how to use it, but let me just put the microphone up to the speaker. You can actually turn the volume up too, but let me see. Let me turn the volume up. And you can turn on and off instruments. This application is called Pippi. It's the one I was telling you about earlier where you could program things and you could tweak the code. So you can load these examples, and then like you can actually run the code here. Guess a number between 1 and 100, 54. Too big, try again. Enter number. So you could try, 42. That's also too big, and keep going. And look, you can actually tweak this. Like if I wanted to say change the range to 1 and 500, I'd delete that and put a 5, and then change this because this is the actual text that displays. So and say make that so it says 5. Now if I run it again, look, guess the number between 1 and 500. Now if I put 233, it says it's too small. So it's over 233 but under 500. So as you can see, it's a good way to get kids interested in programming code for this thing. Not much to show on this one. It's just a basic calculator where you can add and subtract, and then it'll give you the answer. And there's a few games for kids, like this jigsaw puzzle game where you just take these pieces and you try to form the puzzle. It shows you what it looks like over here, and this is what you try to make over here in this little area. So it's sad that this was kind of a failure and it didn't really work out, and it didn't get into the hands of a lot of kids. It did get into the hands of a few, but I'm really hoping that it touched the kids hands that it did get in. Can you imagine you living in a third world country, you've never seen a computer in your life, and then one day you walk into your classroom and you see this crazy looking thing, and your teacher boots it up and she shows you, hey, look, you could do math on this thing. You could become an artist. You could become a programmer. And then you start doing this thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is really cool. This is opening up a whole new experience for me, something that I've never even seen before. I'm really hoping that did happen with at least just a few kids, and it changed their lives, and it made them say, wow, I want to become a programmer, or I want to become an artist. These days with laptop computers, you can buy them a lot cheaper, probably $100 or less. But back then, in the early 2000s, this was something special that you can get in front of a kid in a developing country. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this computer review, and thanks for watching.